Hello, 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 I am Ringru.
And I'm Graham.
Here today with another Wargame 1v1 from the SenSAtional tournament. And who do
Mm.
we have playing today, Mr. Graham?
So on our left-hand side here, in the blue corner, we have Razzman playing Blue 4 Mechanized. And then on the right side of over here, we have Krot playing Baltic Front General with some MI-17s already rolling out.
They're going to be deploying that command infantry right over Charlie, but we got two pretty high tier, I was going to say divisions, but decks fighting
Yes.
against each other, and of course two very high tier players as well, so I'm quite excited to see how this goes. I mean, Razzman opening up with AMX-10s, not the classic Kernas going to be coming on in. What's he going for?
Yeah, I'm really see where he's dropping this. You can see it. So the missiles are going. Looks like he's going to try and hit the Finnish recon infantry. Oh, no, he's not. Nope, I
Oh,
missed that judgment.
the
He
rope.
hits all the, and the BTR. The infantry that was in the BTRs there all got annihilated as well. So it's actually a really good hit there from the current ass, and he gets out clean.
Very lively skirmishes here going on. The Mi-17 with the S-13 rockets are just going to start blapping away at his infantry. Oh no, it's actually just blapping away at the Gazelle cannon, but one has an autocannon and the other has a 50 cal.
Yeah, the benefit is the Mi-17 has a lot more hit points, so it does actually end up winning there. And you can see why the Mi-17 is so favored here in openings is those 122 millimeter rockets to just can shred light vehicles.
Yeah, they almost like anti-tank rockets, but it was... I really do love the Mi-17 because of that. We got the second one being brought in, and not a whole lot of anti-air here from Razzman. Yeah, doing a whole lot of damage, but we're also seeing him actually invest quite heavy into Bravo.
Yeah, we have a big infantry push going here into Bravo. A lot of Zeldas that's probably equipped with the Israeli infantry there. Merkava's going in as well. There's some Jakari kind of hanging out in the town there, but the Laws misses, as Laws typically do. And then, yeah, so we see the Roby at 90 engage them there, which they should probably win that fight.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, and just the Zelda fire support is such a big deal. I mean, 5 points, 3 machine guns.
Yeah.
It's been very good for, what, 6 years now?
Yeah, a long period of time, though. Actually, as we say that, the Mi-17 comes over and lends itself some pretty heavy-duty fire support, killing half the Roby out there already. The Zelda surviving the barrages.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is a pretty interesting push here from Razzman. Usually this map is usually just, you know, a grind over Bravo and a little bit of a grind over Go, but it seems like Raz is trying to break his siege, so to speak, and maybe push heavy into Charlie. It's a risky maneuver, it's hard to do, but if he was to actually make it work, that would be pretty cool.
See Krot kind of getting aggressive there in golf. He plays with fire a little bit, but he does kill the ATGM infantry in golf. And then now you can see the M2 Wilkes getting some damage into the Kernas coming in to try and eat up some more of their HP pool here. And with them both damage, a direct hit might actually... Oh no, so it brings it down to 3 HP. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you need SU-25s when you got the bloody Kernas. Or
Yeah,
A-10s.
or 8. I didn't know we were playing War now. No, I do like the Kernas there, though, and the opening there from Razzman. It can pay itself off really fast. It's already actually done a ton of damage and gotten kills. And the Nua is actually pretty far in the back line there for Krot, protecting the CV. So he can actually get some free damage in on those Wilks.
Yeah, it's having to invest a little bit in that anti-air because those Kernasses are pretty deadly. And because of just that initial engagement in Bravo, Krot really lost the initiative up north here, and we just have a whole heap of angry Israelis moving through the forest, and you got the Merkava 2 fire support. It almost seems like an Israeli attack up north.
Yeah, it looks like they're going into Lebanon right now, but in reality, and we see that Krot's actually trying to really rush up his reinforcements here. That's some Jakari 90 probably, and that KT and the Mi-17 providing some fire support too. I think he's probably hoping Razzman overextends a little bit, and that which will allow him to get back into that forest line. And so we kind of have to watch out and see what happens there. While Krot at the same time tries to get some angling here into golf.
And it's definitely a good idea for Razzman to push into Bravo, Charlie, because, of course, with that mechanized tank, you have good infantry, which you can spam the hell out of. And Finpo do get good infantry too, mainly Finnish in this case for Krot. Just in terms of numbers, I mean, 5 slots versus 9 slots, that's a pretty big disadvantage.
Yeah, it's a massive infantry in terms of just raw numbers for the mechanized deck. Though I do agree with you, the Baltic front, especially some of that Finnish infantry, is really good, especially in CQC there. And so we see there the Jakari 90 actually going at it with the Roviats and the KT coming in with the Bushmaster. Should clean them up pretty quick there. Yeah, their health dropping really fast.
Yeah, how I'm seeing this is that Krot should probably push south with all his tanks, and Razzman just needs to put the pressure up north with all his infantry. And it seems like that's what's going on. Krot is almost cleared out Gulf entirely with his finished Terminators here, and he's actually got a pretty good lockdown on that sector of all his light vehicles. I think just helicopters, actually. Not even a proper tank anywhere there. Well, the M2 Rooks are repairing, but they're in a pretty interesting spot in between.
Yeah, it kind of allows him fire support in two different directions. I mean, eventually I think he'll have to commit one way or the other, but he is able to actually secure Gulf now, and there's nothing in the immediate sense, I think, that can threaten his position. And so really it's going to kind of come down to, at least currently, I think that battle there in Charlie.
Yeah. It's going to be about whether Krot can actually re-secure that forest. He doesn't need to get into Bravo. Well, it's ideal to get into Bravo so you can neutralize it. Especially on a map like this with so little command points to capture. But he can't allow Razzman to get a foothold into Charlie. But that's not too bad, really. I think it's pretty easy to defend Charlie, because you still have that town. And you got a lot of open space between you and said town sector.
Space right there, like you said, you can get inside the buildings there. You can really punish any push that tries to come in from the forest line. I also like that Krot's trying to get his Jakari 90 out of the forest line instead of just leaving them there to die. He's making a really proactive effort, say, hey, I can still save them. I don't know if he'll accomplish that goal, but a lot of players just leave them there to die.
Yeah, I feel like for Raz, he really needs to be using his Merkava 2s a bit more aggressively, especially in his Charlie push. They haven't really done all that much. I'm guessing he's afraid of the M2 Rilks, and that's a fair thing to be afraid of. But right now, his infantry, unsupported in that forest, aren't going to be able to push into these rather defensive positions.
No, 2 there actually probably wipes that Jakari 90. The Merkava 2A with it has the frag launcher. It's got good frontal armor, especially for the price. It goes up there and pushes with your Roviats. It provides a lot of fire support. And I do agree with you. I think he's scared of the M2 Wilk. He knows that there's multiple of them on the map, and there's actually 3 of them currently, which is a ton of firepower and armor that Krot has. But he probably could have pushed it up there and got some free damage in.
Yup. Just looking down south, we're seeing a little bit of skirmish play here along the southern border. Razzman maneuvering some commandos for and SAS for some actually rather like commando action. Krot really just setting up some Jakaris on both flanks to stop anything too cheesy from happening, which is
you kind of need to have it's a cheap investment with the KT too. If there is anything crazy that happens, it'll alert him. I'm not sure if Razzman's going to really like commit to anything crazy, though. He did buy some Commandos 90, which is kind of expensive, and some SAS too. But base defense and flank defense is always important in Wargame. So better be safe than sorry. That's like
really just both sides are just kind of held off a little bit, just building up their forces. We're seeing Krot just invest up north in the defense of Charlie. Razzman getting some reinforcements up here, some anti-air, but I think the anti-tank capabilities from Razzman is a little bit lacking. If those M2 Rilks start really getting into the thick of things, they can do a whole lot of damage, and as you can see, they are moving up unsupported. That's pretty risky. It could be an ATGM which should just come and blap him.
That's a really bold move there, and it's actually, I think he's rethinking it, and you see some smoke coming out too to try and cover it. It was a bold move, Cotton.
Because the big thing is 2 Kernasses, look.
Oh, there they go. Yeah. I was wondering, like, are they going to come out? And we see him launching here. Where's the new at? The new is firing, and there's a MiG-21 BIS up in the air, though I don't think it's going to get close enough. Oh, they both go down to the
No, one goes down. Only one.
No. Oh, it looks like both.
Zoom in, the Eric's is kind of blocking, But one does go down. That's still a good kill, and he didn't lose. Did he lose any airplanes, He was not paying attention, which is kind of bad.
Yeah, but one of the Kurnas is going down. That's really huge there for Krot to get one of those for no loss, really. At least since the initial engagement there, the M2 Wilks are still alive.
And we're also seeing Krot actually do a counterattack into the Charlie forest, and he is going to be clearing out the Roviats. Once again, the Merkavas have not been able to get into a sufficient fire support position. And now they're going to come in, but it's going to be a little bit too late.
Yeah, and the M2 Wilk is actually pushing up in support of them. And then now the Merkava really needs to be careful because the Panzer Jakari with the Apilas are a real threat to armor in a forest line. So he's going to have to kind of be careful there. And then we see the one will also by Golf getting a pick on some vehicles as well.
Mm-hmm.
We actually see Razzman trying to smoke that area off so we can get more troops into that forest line. But really good counterattack Rang, I think, by Krot here.
Yeah, it definitely does relieve some of the pressure off Charlie. We're also seeing Razzman get a foothold back into Gulf with just some Roviats in that rather important village sector, yeah. And it seems like Razzman's is trying to do his best to stop any shenanigans from the central Gulf forest. And he's definitely, it feels like he's on the back foot. He is slowly gaining that plus run because he does have the Alpha CV cap, so we're probably going to start seeing some CV games.
Yeah, we're probably getting close to that point. Krot by opening up with a CV, which can be really risky in some of these maps here, especially at this level of play. Like, these players are so good at abusing you for spending 100 points in a non-combat unit. It's crazy how effective they are with that. But he was able to get a lead. It means he doesn't need to panic anytime soon with the +1. So he has a lot of time where he can still keep getting out combat units before he has to really say, hey, I need to start capping some zones.
Yup. And it just seems like it's going to be a bit of a stalemate along the northern flank here. Just both sides digging into their retrospective forest. And, it's pretty classic paddy field gameplay, really. It's a very grindy map.
Yeah, and I think the grind, I would say, probably lends itself to Razzman's favor based upon the deck, right? Just the raw amount of infantry that he can put onto the field. But I do think Krot, outside of the Kurnas blapping the initial 3 group of Jakari, I think he's done a really good job of trading out against a lot of these Roviats from Razzman.
Yeah, it's just going to be about whether he can use his M2 Rogues efficiently to gain himself the upper edge on the northern flank. It's going to be hard due to how CQC is, but he is at least able, currently, with his M2 positioning, to stop Razzman from making any further acts of aggression into Charlie.
I like that little. I know,
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, someone picks up on that. Oh, when's number 2 coming out?
Well, when this video comes out, it would have been a few days ago.
I saw the hot naval footage. I was really excited.
Oh, that one. Oh, active aggression too. Yes. Yes, it's secretly once the early access is over, they're going to be actually releasing active aggression too. It's all a ruse still.
You're on fire tonight. And so we actually see there's another MI-17 commander coming out. Let's go ahead and cap Foxtrot here for Krot, and he's done an amazing job of keeping those alive. I think he still has one, so maybe he's lost only one of them, but it's crazy. Like, I would have been lost my MI-17 at this point in the game. If that was my initial call-out helicopter, it would have went in hot and got blasted.
Yeah.
So,
you're out of rockets, you're no use to me.
Right, just go die. Like, yeah. I can resupply my helicopter? Who does that?
That's dumb. Who buys FOBs? Krot buys FOBs in a 1v1. He must be playing 4D chess here. But, a good idea, actually, if you can...
Genius. No, and so I really like here what Krot's doing. We see the push has gone in, kind of into Bravo, and it's very methodical. It's not necessarily slow, very deliberate. He's got protection. He's letting the M2 Wilkes do pretty much all the heavy lifting for him because he knows there isn't much in terms of armor that can counter even his M2 Wilk. I mean, I think the Leopard 2A1 is the best thing Razzman can put on the field in tank form. Yeah.
And even then, like 18 AP versus 17 armor, it's still only going to be like a few points of damage every hit. And as it shows, Leopard 2A1's got hit a little bit, and now they're no longer engaging, which is giving Krot the invitation to attack into Bravo. And it is bloody as McCurva 2s are going to hold the line, but there's only so much ammunition they have.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what we were talking about earlier. That the Wolf actually annihilates one of them. We see here a shot come out. And actually, the Charlie 9 going to get a rear... Oh, no, they actually kill some infantry with the other Wolf.
There we go.
You see right there. Yeah, they do get the kill with the wall right there. And that's just the firepower. That's why I like the M2 Wilk so much, especially for 120 points. I think it's another reason why Baltic Front is so deadly, because it has a good infantry that you could mix with really good armor for pretty much any price range.
Yeah.
And you're witnessing it right here.
Also got the Finnish tanks, which also have a bit of extra firepower in exchange for the Res armor layout. But yeah, having the M2 Rilks with the extra armor is quite a nice change of pace. And yeah, Krot is really just securing that anti-tank.
Oh, the Hornet actually misses his first salvo, does get the next one. Nua opening up and getting the hit and killing the F-18. It only
Wow.
killing one of the M2 Wilks. Really massive trade. Actually, did it kill anyone? No,
No,
it
they
lived.
grouped
It was
up.
1 HP.
That
Yeah,
is
wow.
that's some big brain moves grouping them into a group or two. I think that's to mess up with the
Yeah, with
firing
the firing
maneuvers.
maneuver. Yep,
Yeah,
that
because
was
it's like
wow.
oh, one does go downhill, but still that was impressive. And as we see time and time again with mechanized decks, if you can knock out their air power,
Yep.
again that allows you to secure the tank power, and then you can get the Rinnin power. The Rinnin power being command point, such a ancillary name to that term, Rinnin
I,
power.
I feel like right now the winning power is the Polish armor because
Mm-hmm.
it's just the amount of value that you've seen Krot get out of his tanks so far in this game is just it's insane. And we've cast a lot of games together, Rang, and a lot of times it feels like when players misplay with their tanks, the detriment's massive, right, to your overall gameplay. And seeing here Krot uses armor effectively, supporting with his infantry, not risking them in wide open field engagements where planes can come in and just annihilate them from the sky. It's been really fun to watch.
Yeah, and I think also the nice thing about the M2 Rogue is it's good enough to be like a heavy tank, but it's not
Yeah.
super duper expensive. Like he's
Right.
lost a few, but who cares? He can still buy some more. It's not like getting Leopard 2A5s or Charlie
Right.
2s or any of that crap. He
And
can afford to engage, and they're better in the mechanized tanks, but just enough, not too much.
Yeah, and the best thing also about it is that is the best tank on the field right now. We do see an M1A1 coming in, so the Americans want to have a little talk about that, a little conversation about that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, the amount that he can put on and the amount of value he's gotten out of them has been really massive. We see here essentially a Finnish Jurgen opening up on the town complex with the Chumats. Doesn't get any hits there, but he does signal to Razzman there that there is some heavy rocket artillery on the field.
I do like Razzman doing a little bit of sneaky play in Foxtrot, getting those Chumats into position, gonna be keeping some stuff. Razzman could actually change the momentum of this game if he was to get a foothold into Foxtrot. That's a pretty big gain if he does so. You never fully capture Foxtrot from the left-hand side. It's almost impossible, but it's very easy to neutralize. Just small and then you have a no man's land for you to slap ATGMs all around the.
Yeah, I really think at this point, Krot would benefit from continuing his push into Bravo. He can almost lock down the entire area here, and really he could just send one M2, one Wilk, or both. Because as Razzman is continuing to invest in this kind of Foxtrot push, like you said, Rang, I don't know if it can work long term. It's really interesting to see it here, but it's extremely hard for players to hold that portion of Foxtrot when they're on the blue side.
Yeah, it is. It can be tough. I mean, a nice thing Razzman at least has the stab approach lockdown with the commandos and SAS, so it does give him a little bit of breathing room. But I feel like if Razzman was to invest into Foxtrot, he's going to have to invest quite heavily, and that will open him up in Bravo. And still, the tech is not in a great position for Razzman either. There's a lot of Rilks, there's a Never. I mean, those Rilks can just really lock down a good chunk of golf.
Yeah, we see Razzman actually pushing out that M1 Abrams. I think he's trying to get a little aggressive with it. He needs to be careful because there's a bunch of Wilks in the area. Yeah, one training shots. The M1A1 missing. Please don't tell any Americans in the chat that it missed. And the M2 Wilk getting the hit there, taking it off 3 HP.
The M1 Abrams was like the 4th best tank according to the history. Or was it 2nd?
The M1 Abrams thought he was rolling up into
second.
Desert Storm, and he found out he went to the wrong neighborhood. And these M2 Wilks have something to say about T-72s.
Oh no, these guys have effective ammunition! Ah!
It's not car plates on the armor.
In the Eastern Street.
No, it's definitely not. And we actually see the Finnish Terminators moving into. I really love that unit. You see Krot put them around a lot. Oh, and there's actually a Saria coming out here by Krot.
Oh, wow.
There actually isn't a ton of AA Rang. So this Saria might be able to get a nice... Yeah! Comes right in there, gets one of those 2A1s down. That's a massive pick there for Krot, and just further cements this armor advantage that he has in the game.
Yeah, and Krot's in a pretty good position now because he has a foothold into Bravo. It's still a contested sector, and he almost has Gulf completely under control. It's very hard for Razzman from his location to get a CV in Gulf, just because, I mean, you can get an infantry CV in a village, but it's very obvious. So unless you can secure that forest, you really don't have Gulf under control. So Raz is he's in a tough spot. It's really just the armor advantage has been screwing him over.
Yeah, I think Razzman's in a very rough spot. We see the BTRs actually unload there. The Jakari getting out there. They're just baseline Jakari. As the Yurg comes into, really cinematic here. As you can see, the combined arms. The artillery's hitting the town complex. The M2 Wilkes providing fire support as the Finnish infantry goes in to trying to get into this town here.
Mm-hmm. And that could... I mean, yeah, the Roviats didn't really take out much firepower, so I think these Jakaris are... Yeah, the MX-13's giving fire support.
Yeah,
they
13's
are
gonna clean it up.
dead as a doorknob.
It was a good attempt though, and some of the MX-13s do go down, and they're just base Jakari, so they're only 10 points. So honestly, he can trade those out for a long period of time, and a Chumat squad went down as well, I think, for Razzman.
Yep.
So really, he probably doesn't care, I don't think.
Well, I think Razzman is definitely bringing out the big guns now, the M36 Slugger. I'm actually surprised you haven't seen that in Steel Division yet.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess
We haven't seen any of like the super late. I mean, they're still sticking to 44, but hey, if they do more DLCs, I think that would probably be a good rate for them to go out.
They might decide. You know what? If they're gonna go crazy rank, they need to bring the Centurion. If we're going all
mouse.
In,
just one, and it's just like 400 points.
It would never make it to the front.
You'd have to have the crew push it. Or
right,
you have Panther Force tow in it.
You give it to 16th Panzer and it can tow it.
Or you'd have to use it as a fortification.
That'd be kind of cool, actually.
Yeah,
but then you'd have to play Breakthrough, and nobody plays Breakthrough.
Oh, yeah. That's a game mode?
You would never know it.
Huh. Weird.
So we do see that...
Destruction.
Get out of here. Get him out of here, boys. That's an awful, awful take once again by Rangru and the cast. We do see here the push is kind of continuing a little bit into Bravo. Razzman kind of, I really think Rangy's trying to decide what he wants to do now because he's in a really rough spot. You're reaching this point where we're under halfway there, and Krot just seems like he has the momentum. He has the superior amount of firepower. I mean, you can see he's loitering a MiG-21 up there like he's got air superiority over Blue 4. Look at that MiG-21.
MiG-21.
Yeah.
You know, the superior aircraft.
Obviously.
I mean, you can know by its KD ratio.
It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not, but you know, we like to believe.
I usually just flip the numbers.
Yeah, whatever they said as a lie. MiG-21 actually racked up a highly impressive kill list. Don't listen to the capitalist propaganda.
Yeah, we've seen the CV and Golf now, so that's going to give Krot a nice little +1, building up at advantage, and yeah, really it's just that Golf CV, because Razzman can't realistically put something in there safely.
No, see that he's actually bringing up a CV to go into golf for himself. The problem is that it's so easy it's just very easy to tell where both are at, but the positioning in that forest line is just superior than trying to stick the CV into right there by the town complex. So it's very easy to find. We see a Saria actually loitering up here. I don't know what he's looking to hunt. He's just up here chilling.
Abrams?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. He probably saw it coming into the area there. Some more smoke coming out. The Jurgen actually firing once again. I love that he's constantly moving his Jurgen around. He's not allowing any potential for counter battery. Not that there really is any counter battery that can be coming towards him. But I really like that move by Krot. Just staying very active, very safe with his heavy equipment.
And he's just a lot of his supplies. Like, his FOB's almost out. That's impressive.
Yeah, he's constantly been firing it. A lot of times with a lot of players, you'll see that they bring out something that really expensive artillery piece. It shoots like for the first 2 minutes and they forget to use it again. He's constantly been using it throughout the course of this game. And that's the big thing about Krot is that a lot of his initial starting units are still alive. I mean, he still has 4 M2 Wilkes alive. He has MI-17 still alive, I think, somewhere. Or maybe one finally died to the SAS. But I thought I saw it flying around somewhere earlier.
But we're seeing Razzman push pretty heavy into Foxtrot, but Krot is not going to have any of that. He's maneuvering his rogues. I mean, he has 4 bloody rogues in Golf, and there's 1 M1A1 Abrams. And apart from that, not a whole lot. Okay, 2 M1A1 Abrams. So Razzman is not in a good state. I do like him trying to push into Foxtrot and open up another flank. Oh, F-16 out MiG-21, and look at that capitalist propaganda, Graham. That is absolute BS.
I'll say that the MiG-21 got some damage in. He got some licks in. It wasn't without... The block will be away for a little while. But yeah, we see the Krot here actually trying to counterattack immediately. And we see the M1 Abrams rolling right up onto the 2 Wilkes. They trade shots with each other, but Krot can just pull back one and then send in the full HP one. So no, he's going in. Full send.
He's going hot, and the other two Rogues engage in the air and Abrams in the open, forcing that to go back up the hill. So that is going to completely change momentum here down south.
Yeah, it's the the Polish armor going in there, cleaning up another M1. Smoke trying to save the other one. But that's a pretty decisive engagement here. There's M2 Wilks. A Carl Gustav shot, actually. I think I missed the Wilk. Maybe? Or I hit the frontal armor.
They're not doing too much damage.
No, it's not doing anything to it.
It only has 18 AP, so it's going to do like 2 to 3 points of damage, I believe.
Yeah, so really strong counterattack there by Krot. It puts it in. The CV goes... did the CV go down, or is he just relocating it?
I think it went down. Oh no, it's relocating. Look, he's already going down south. Is he... I thought he was going to try to do some memes into Echo, but...
The Jakari 90 are there, though, in case you try to get really cheeky with it.
Yeah.
No, this is just a very strong, and I think probably no longer an attainable victory for... unattainable position for Razzman. It's just Krot's done such a good job of keeping his units alive. He rebounded really effectively, I think, from that initial Kurnas strike. And there's just so much armored firepower on the map, and he didn't allow Razzman to kind of like get him into an infantry grind.
Yeah, like just that armor advantage was huge, and also the Yakaris they hold up pretty well against mech decks. Like yeah, you have to Roviat spam, but the Yakari spam, they make they're good availability for like a regular deck. Like you can contend or mechanized with those chaps, and the cheap infantry backed up by like heavy fire support tanks have been a lovely 1-2 combo here for Mr. Krot.
Yeah, really well done. I don't have anything negative to say whatsoever about his play. I mean, really, I would play. These are two of the best players in the game, so it's always awesome to watch them duke it out at a high level. And it's been very action-packed, Rang. There hasn't been too much skirmishing past the initial couple, that 5 to 10 minute mark. They've been pretty aggressive with each other the whole time.
Yeah, and usually I'm not a huge fan on casting on Paddy Field because of the grindiness of it, but both sides kept that consistent. So, lovely replay from a viewer's perspective, and 1000 KD difference. It felt closer in that, but Krot
I think the
really
end really
up.
changed it. Yeah, I think the end really turned it around there. Krot's positioning, I think, was better throughout most of the game. And then Krot's this is armor play, as I've said probably a couple times for the listeners, was really solid. His smoke play, which we didn't talk too much about, was good. He kept his area got value. The Nua getting massive playing kills was massive as well. And then I just think it was a very solid game by Krot.
Yeah, and I think Razzman, he was doing really well in Bravo early on. I think he needed to be very aggressive with those McCurva 2s so he could get into Charlie when, as we saw with our, God view, it was a period in Charlie where there wasn't a whole lot, and the McCurva's backing up the infantry, allowing them to get a foothold into the town. It'd still be a hard fight because you're very close to the enemy spawn zone, but it would have gave him a very good position. Even just contending a +2 sector is huge on that map.
Yeah, I think so too. I also really like that Krot, he starts off with a CV to get the +2 immediately, and Razzman's not able to turn that into an advantage on the actual battlefield for him. And I do think it's like when you said that engagement there, the Merkava 2s could have got the infantry into the town and Charlie, and that game's completely different. By the Merkava 2s staying in the back line because he was afraid of the M2 Wilk, it really allowed Krot to reconsolidate his defensive line. And then once he got infantry support up, there's no way those Merkava 2s were going to be able to stop that push.
Yeah, exactly. That's a very good take on the situation now. But that's fantastic play from both sides. Absolutely
awesome
lovely
game.
Match. And,
awesome game.
Yeah, do you have anything else to say?
No, man, I appreciate it. Love it as always. Great replay, and I'll see you next week.
Yeah, cool. Also, Raz actually has this game on his channel. I'll put a link to it in the description below so you can actually see it from his perspective of him getting blasted by those rilks. But apart from that, thank you very much for watching. And as usual, please just take it easy.